Welcome to Cowboys Versus Ninjas, the show that brings you the most addictive stories about samurai and gunslingers every single day. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Julia.
And we can't wait to share today's epic adventure with you.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
So today we're heading to feudal Japan.
Ooh.
Now, the ocean over there isn't just some body of water. It's practically another world full of mystery and ancient gods and creatures straight out of legend.
Oh, you've got it. For the samurai who rule the land, the sea is something to be respected and feared. They haven't quite figured out how to conquer it. But all that changes with the arrival of a very mysterious figure, Captain Nemo, and his iron vessel.
The Hakuchu.
The Hakuchu. This isn't just some wooden ship, right? This is where things get interesting.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine a submarine, but not like anything we'd picture today.
Oh.
This thing is made entirely of polished iron. Shaped like some kind of massive fish lurking just below the surface, you can bet the coastal villagers are freaking out when they see this thing.
Yeah, I bet. Sea demon, kraken made of metal, who knows?
That's one heck of a first impression.
Yeah.
So what does this Nemo guy want? What's he doing in samurai territory with this iron fish?
Well, he approaches the local lords with a pretty straightforward proposition. He'll take care of those legendary sea creatures that have been terrorizing the coast. The ones snatching fishermen and sinking ships.
Yeah.
If they just leave him alone.
So basically saying, I'll solve your monster problem, just let me be.
Exactly.
I could see why the samurai lords would be tempted. On the one hand, this Nemo is an outsider with strange technology. But on the other hand, he's offering a solution to a problem they haven't been able to solve themselves.
Exactly. And Nemo wastes no time proving he can back up his words. His first target is a legendary leviathan, a creature said to be so large it can swallow islands whole.
Oh.
But the Hakuchu, surprisingly nimble for its size, uses these harpoons tipped with some kind of crackling energy to take the beast down.
Hold on, harpoons with crackling energy. That sounds more like science fiction than feudal Japan.
Right. We're in this fascinating blend of historical setting and totally fantastical technology.
Yeah.
But then again, we're also talking about a world where samurai clash with mythical beasts, so maybe the impossible isn't so impossible after all.
Good point. So Nemo defeats this leviathan, showing everyone he means business. But how do the samurai, those warriors bound by honor and tradition, react to this guy with his strange technology?
Oh.
Do they welcome him as a hero?
Not exactly. He's effective, sure. But Nemo remains an outsider, a mystery. He's not bound by the samurai code, which is a huge deal in their culture. And his methods are so alien, so different from anything they've ever seen. There's a grudging respect, maybe, but also a deep distrust.
Yeah, makes sense. He's disrupting their world, throwing things off balance. And I bet the pirate lords who rule the seas weren't too thrilled about him either.
Oh, absolutely. Those pirates are used to fighting amongst themselves for control. But Nemo is a whole new kind of threat. He's a phantom, able to attack from below the surface, sinking their ships, ruining their raids. Talk about turning their world upside down.
So we've got the samurai who are wary, and the pirates who are outright angry. Not winning any popularity contests here. But I'm guessing Nemo's arrival has a ripple effect that goes beyond just battles at sea, doesn't it?
Definitely. While the older generation is busy being suspicious, the younger generation is fascinated. They see Nemo and his technology as a window into a whole new world.
Yeah.
A world beyond their traditional understanding. They're hungry for the knowledge he possesses, especially about the secrets of the ocean.
It's always the younger generation that's more open to new ideas, isn't it?
Yeah.
They haven't had their thinking cemented in place yet.
It's true. And among these inquisitive young people, there's one who really stands out. Hana, a fearless young woman who becomes Nemo's navigator and translator.
Hana. I have a feeling she's going to be a key player in this story. Tell me more about her.
She's incredibly sharp and resourceful. While others see chaos in the ocean, she sees patterns. And Nemo, for all his gruffness, recognizes her intelligence right away. She becomes his link to the samurai world, bridging the gap between his way of doing things and theirs.
So we've got this fascinating dynamic building. This grizzled captain and the young woman who helps him navigate not just the waters, but the culture, too.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. But what challenges do they face together?
Well, things escalate when rumors start spreading about a kraken, a monstrous creature capable of wiping out entire coastal forts.
Oh, wow.
This isn't just about lost fishing boats anymore. This is a threat to the land itself.
A kraken. Now we're talking. So how does Nemo, the guy who just took down a leviathan, react to this news? Is he itching for a fight?
Actually, he hesitates. This is different. It's a land war, a samurai war, and he's always been careful to stay out of their affairs. He sees himself as a force of nature, not a player in their politics.
That's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
He's taken on all these sea monsters, but the threat to the land itself gives him pause. I sense some inner conflict brewing here. What about Hana? How does she feel about all this?
Well, Hana, having learned from Nemo, understands the true danger of the kraken. This isn't just a threat to the samurai, it's a threat to everyone, and she's not afraid to challenge Nemo's reluctance.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. We have two different perspectives clashing. Nemo, the outsider, who wants to stay out of land-based conflicts, and Hana, who sees that the ocean and the land are connected, that what happens in one affects the other.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Hana uses her knowledge of Nemo's technology, which she's picked up by studying his blueprints and calculations, to argue her case. She's basically saying, sometimes even outsiders have a responsibility to protect the world from the really big threats.
Wow. That's a pretty powerful argument. This young woman who started out as a curious observer is now pushing back against the very person who opened her eyes to this new world.
And it works. Nemo, moved by her passion and their understanding, agrees to face the kraken.
So the stage is set. The Iron Samurai with his technological marvels versus a creature of myth and destruction. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
But remember, this isn't just brute force versus technology. It's a clash of strategies and cultures, too. The samurai will have to use their tactics alongside Nemo's inventions if they want to defeat this enemy.
All right, folks. You won't want to miss the thrilling conclusion of this story. Stick around for part 2, where we'll break down the epic battle against the kraken and the surprising aftermath that changes everything.
And don't forget to rate and follow for more Cowboys Versus Ninjas adventures. Welcome back to Cowboys Versus Ninjas. When we left off, Captain Nemo, our enigmatic Iron Samurai, had agreed to face the kraken.
Yeah.
A legendary threat to both land and sea.
The tension is definitely building.
Yeah.
So how does this epic showdown actually go down?
Well, it's not just a straight-up attack.
Right.
This is a carefully planned battle that combines those ancient samurai tactics with Nemo's futuristic technology.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Let's hear how this plays out.
The samurai and their swift boats are the first line of defense. They use their knowledge of the coastline and the kraken's behavior to lure it into those dangerous shallows.
So they're using their agility and understanding of the local waters to try and outmaneuver this massive creature.
Yeah.
And get it into a vulnerable position.
Exactly. But there's another element to their strategy. Sound. Just imagine the rhythmic clang of temple bells echoing across the water, disorienting the kraken and messing with its senses.
Wow, that's a powerful image. Ancient bells against the roars of a monster. It's like two worlds colliding.
It really is.
Yeah.
And while the samurai are keeping the kraken busy on the surface, the Hakuchu, with Hana frantically calculating their course, prepares for its own attack.
So Hana isn't just navigating. She's in the thick of it, acting as a strategist,
Right.
using her understanding of both Nemo's tech and the kraken's behavior.
You got it. She's the bridge between these two worlds.
Yeah.
The one who can make sense of the chaos and guide Nemo's attack.
What about Nemo himself? What's his role in all this?
He's the weapons expert.
Okay.
The one in control of the Hakuchu and its arsenal. Remember those harpoons we talked about? The ones with that crackling energy? They're about to become very important.
This is it then. The moment of truth. The Iron Samurai versus the Kraken.
It's absolute chaos. The ocean is churning red with blood. The air's thick with the kraken's howls and the constant clang of those temple bells. The samurai are risking their lives, weaving in and out, driving the kraken further into the shallows. And then
Don't leave me hanging.
the Hakuchu attacks. Following Hana's calculations, Nemo unleashes a volley of those energy-tipped harpoons, each one finding its mark, tearing into the kraken's flesh.
That's gotta hurt. But is it enough to take down such a legendary creature?
The kraken thrashes, its massive tentacles flailing wildly, but it's a losing battle. The constant attacks from the samurai, the sheer power of the Hakuchu, it's too much, even for a creature of myth.
So they win. They actually defeat the Kraken.
They do, but it's a costly victory. The sea is stained with blood, a reminder of just how fierce this battle was, and the sacrifices made on both sides.
It's a reminder that even in victory, there's always a price to pay.
Exactly, and it's in the aftermath, as the villagers gather on the shore taking in the carnage, that the true impact of this fight becomes clear.
What happens next? How does the world change after this incredible battle?
As things settle down, all eyes turn to Hana,
Hana? Why Hana?
because everyone recognizes that she's the one who made this victory possible. She's the one who understood the true danger, who bridged the gap between Nemo and the samurai who orchestrated the entire attack.
So it's not Nemo the Iron Samurai who emerges as the hero.
No, it's Hana, the young woman who learned from him, who adapted and combined ancient wisdom with this new knowledge. The villagers see her small but determined, and realize that she's the leader they need. Someone who understands that surviving the ocean requires strength and cleverness.
Wow, that's quite a twist. The student surpassing the master. Not in power, but in understanding and leadership.
It really is, and that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about monsters and battles.
Right.
It's about how leadership evolves, how a new generation can step up and embrace both the old ways and new ideas.
That's what I love about Cowboys versus Ninjas, always finding those deeper themes. So what about Captain Nemo? Does he stick around to enjoy the victory he helped achieve?
That's a great question, and one we'll answer as we uncover the legacy of the Iron Samurai in the final part of our story. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Cowboys versus Ninjas. We just finished talking about how Hana, after learning from Nemo, leads the charge against the kraken and steps up as a leader in the aftermath.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
What a story.
Mm.
So what happens to Captain Nemo? Does he stick around after the battle, or does he vanish back into the mystery of the ocean?
Well, as the sun comes up, casting its golden light across the water, the Hakuchu quietly slips beneath the waves, disappearing back into the depths it came from.
So he's gone. Just like that. Back to being a phantom of the deep.
Exactly. Nemo, always a man of mystery, chooses to fade back into the unknown. But even though he's gone, his presence has a lasting impact on the people and the world he touched, even if it was only for a short time.
Yeah, I can see that. He challenged their assumptions, showed them a different way of thinking. I bet they'll never forget the Iron Samurai.
You're absolutely right. The samurai saw firsthand the power of technology and how it could be combined with their traditional ways. Nemo may have vanished, but the seeds of change have been planted.
He was a catalyst, even if he didn't stay to see the results.
That's a great way to put it. And that change is most evident in Hana. She truly embodies that fusion of tradition and innovation. Becoming the leader, her people need to navigate this new world where strength and cunning are essential for survival.
She's the legacy of the Iron Samurai in a way, carrying the torch and leading her people into a new era.
Precisely. The villagers might never fully grasp Nemo or his motivations, but there's no denying the profound effect he had on their world. He pushed them to adapt, to think differently, and ultimately help them overcome a threat that could have destroyed them.
So Nemo leaves behind more than just stories. He leaves behind a world that's been changed for the better and a new generation ready to embrace those changes.
What a tale.
It reminds us that the most compelling stories aren't just about battles and monsters. They're about growth change and the unexpected ways we find strength and leadership.
That's what I love about Cowboys versus Ninjas. We get these thrilling adventures, but we also get something to think about, something that sticks with us long after the story's over.
And today's story has a lot to offer on that front. It reminds us of the importance of adaptation, of being open to new knowledge and challenging old assumptions, especially when facing threats we don't fully understand.
It makes you wonder what other unlikely alliances could change the world as we know it. What combinations of technology and tradition might hold the key to overcoming the challenges we face today?
These are the kinds of questions that make us think outside the box,
Yeah.
that encourage us to look beyond the familiar and embrace those unexpected possibilities.
Well said.
That's a wrap on our journey into the world of the Iron Samurai. But this is just one chapter in the ongoing saga of Cowboys versus Ninjas. Be sure to rate and follow for more epic showdowns and incredible stories.
Until next time, keep exploring. Keep those imaginations running wild. And we'll see you back here for more legendary adventures.